was going to talk about I was going to talk about opening day.
Sure.
We had the usual fanfare with the Clydesdales and the the Here Comes the King theme and
Yeah.
the red jacketed Cardinal Hall of Famers. I think we have the best opening day in baseball. I'm going to say it right here, and I'm going to say it right now. We
All
have
right.
the best
I like
opening
it.
day in
I
baseball.
like it. Well, thank you for everyone joining us here on a beautiful Saturday. Anywhere you're joining us from here on the E2G Sports Network down on the left field line baseball show. It's about our third show, I believe, so far this
Something
year.
like that, yeah.
So we're excited here. Let's get right into it, Parker. Let's get into some Cardinals talk.
All right.
I know that you have some exciting news in terms of your uh, pitching staff, someone getting an extension, and then of
Yep,
course one of your
Miles
prospects
Michaelis
getting
got
called up.
himself Miles Michaelis got himself an extension for 2 years, 40 mil. So he got since Waino is on the shelf. And by the way, there is a timetable for Waino's return. That's
Wonderful.
early May, I think it is,
Okay.
which is what I figured it was going to be.
That's a
So
good benchmark. Early May.
yeah, no big surprises there. But yeah, he's on the shelf. So Miles Michaelis got the opening day nod. He showed flashes of brilliance. I mean, he gave us a chance to win. I will put it that way. But we got into an early 3-0 haul. We came back, tied it up. Well, actually, no, they went ahead 4-. We came back with a run. Then Toronto countered with another run, and then Paul O'Neill, a Canadian crusher, pulverized his fourth opening day home run in a row.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah. I think there's only 3 other people in the major leagues that have done that. But yeah, Paul O'Neill or Tyler O'Neill had Paul O'Neill. I was confusing.
No, I know who you meant. Tyler O'Neill. It's his father.
No, I don't know.
Was his uncle?
No, I don't think they're related.
Oh, I thought they might have some relation.
No, Tyler O'Neill's dad was a bodybuilder. He
looks like a bodybuilder, so that explains it.
Yeah, his dad was like Mr. Canada or something like that.
I like that.
But anyway, we're really expecting a big bounce back year from him. Because he had 34 home runs 2 seasons ago, finished 8th in the MVP voting, and last year he got bit by the injury bug. But we'll see what happens this year. Hopefully, like I said, we'll have the big bounce back year that we're expecting.
Yeah. And then, of course, you had Jordan Walker making his major league debut.
Yes, got it. Yeah, he got. He actually legged one out. He actually had 2 hits. He legged one out.
Yeah.
So he showed some speed.
I like it.
Still waiting to see the power, but he did show some speed. But he looks like he's got good hand-eye coordination. He kind of sort of botched a play in the field, but I attribute that to rookie jitters.
Where was he in the field on opening day?
Right
field. Okay, so the ball came close to him and he botched it or read it wrong and it went down the line.
He read it wrong. Well, it went to the wall. He read it wrong and it kind of went between his legs.
Okay.
But,
I feel like just getting a bit off topic here, just talking about Busch Stadium in general. I feel like that left field is really tough to play. I don't know why. It seems like it's close. It doesn't seem like it's far away.
Yeah, but center field's awfully big.
Okay.
But Tyler O'Neill's got the speed; he can cover the ground. But we've got a bit of an unusual outfield situation because we have we have O'Neill, we have Jordan Walker, we have Lars Nootbaar, the global sensation, back from his WBC and winning a championship.
Yeah, that's right. Champion, WBC champion.
Yep. So he's an actual world champion.
World champion. Now we got to get him a World Series championship now, Park.
Now I gotta wonder if maybe the U.S. champion team and then the Japan championship team would someday play each other in a real World Series.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, well, most of the really good Japanese players are coming here to play.
That's
ball.
right. That's right. That's right.
But anyway, we've got kind of a crowded outfield situation, and I like Dylan Carlson, but unfortunately, I think he's going to be the odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
But I like him because he's a switch hitter.
Now, is your AAA affiliate Springfield?
Memphis.
Springfield's AA.
Correct.
And Memphis. Okay.
Yeah, Memphis opened their season the other day.
Yeah, I find that interesting that minor league baseball. So minor league baseball, I think it was last year, didn't start till later.
Right.
But this year they're starting on time.
Yeah, they start around the same time as the majors, but they end earlier.
They end earlier. That's right. They play 140 games?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got those September call-ups and all that. But I saw the lineup for our minor league team, and it's almost like a major league roster.
There's like 3 or 4 teams I feel like in Major League Baseball that can say that their minor league lineup could probably beat some of the major league teams, bad teams.
Yeah, we're one of them, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you think some of the others are?
Maybe like the Yankees or the
really?
I don't know. Maybe like the Royals. I feel like the Royals have one of the best farm systems in baseball. I don't know why. They were piping in guys last year, I feel like, late in the year. The Royals are a team that maybe in a couple of years we look out for and we say maybe
that's what I'm thinking. They lost the other day. They lost 2-0 to the Twins and Pablo Lopez, who we should have gotten.
Yeah.
We were actually in the hunt to get him.
How much did is that the gentleman from Baltimore, the reliever?
The
from
Marlins.
The Marlins. I'm trying to think of that. They had a reliever last year make the All-Star game, and I think his last name was Lopez as well.
Well, but yeah, Pablo Lopez was the guy from Florida from Miami. I keep calling him the Florida Marlins from time to time.
Right.
Yeah, they haven't been the Florida Marlins for years. But yeah, we were all set to get him, but I think Miami's asking price was a little too high. They wanted Newt, and we didn't want to part with him.
Of course.
I mean, I would have done Carlson for Lopez even up. I would have been fine with that. Now the talk is we're thinking Carlson even up for the other Marlins starting pitcher, Rogers.
Tyler Rogers or Taylor or Tyler?
I think Tyler Rogers is his name.
Tyler Rogers, the lefty, right?
Yeah. God, 3 lefties in the rotation. Holy cow!
Yeah.
We've got 2 now, as it is.
That's right. Montgomery and who else is your other lefty? Okay.
And we've got Jack Flaherty on the bump today. Fingers crossed.
I think we have Sale pitching today if they play, which I'm looking forward
to. So our teams have our injury guys.
That's right. Are supposed to be aces.
Yeah, they're supposed to be aces.
Yeah, I think Sale's going today. We had Kluber going on opening day. He didn't fare very well.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
He didn't last very long, unfortunately. But
hey, Greinke pitched opening day for the Royals.
He's got to be like 45 now.
I think he's 39. I'm not sure.
I thought he was almost 40. He's been pitching
since almost 40.
I was in middle school.
But he, I think he's got milestones he's chasing. That's why the Royals signed him on for another year. But I think this year's it. I think this year he's hanging him up.
Something a bit off topic, Parker, that I did not put in the rundown today that I found a bit interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So in past years, like the first month of the season, they didn't do like those showcase games on Fox on Saturdays. Well, they're doing it right off the bat this year.
They said I keep seeing the ads. Fox Saturday Baseball returns today.
It returns today. It's the depending on I think where you live, It's Phillies and Rangers, and then I obviously will get the Giants and the Yankees because I obviously live in Massachusetts.
Now, didn't the Rangers beat the Phillies the other day?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The Phillies, they made some changes this offseason. They obviously got Trey Turner.
Yeah.
They have Realmuto back, Schwarber back, Bryce Harper. They got Reese Hoskins. They got everyone back.
WBC.
Yep, a lot of them played in the WBC. They're similar, I think, to a team.
Trey Turner really had a nice WBC.
He did. Mark DeRosa's back on MLB Network, as we saw this week. It's a little different now seeing him on television, now knowing that he has the inside scoop as a manager.
Yeah, it's going to be weird seeing him on TV again, not in a uniform.
I think you might see him take a managing job next year. I really do.
Depending on how Ollie does, he could end up being ours.
I think you could see him. I don't know. For some odd reason, I feel like Mark DeRosa is more of like a college coach, like more of like kind of the funny Razzie guy. I don't know if that's going to work in the pro level. I think that works more in the college level.
Maybe going back to his alma mater to coach
at Penn. That'd be quite the job.
Well,
I would not be surprised if
that's
they
where he went.
Yeah, that's where he went.
I think but he didn't. He was more known for being a football player there.
Yes, that's the myth.
Well, he was their quarterback, I think.
He was their quarterback. That's right. And then he told the story. I don't know if it was this offseason or last, but he went to the Cape Cod Baseball League. And he was there, and it was a really crowded infield.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when they first started doing Team USA in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Well, actually, the first Team USA was for the 84 Olympics.
So they left all the players for Team USA. So he got to play.
Okay.
Well, the Team USA collegiate team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the pro team.
No, but they did the 84
college players.
Yeah, they did. Mark McGuire was on that team. Yep. Mark McGuire was on that team. Will Clark was on that team. Barry Larkin was on that team, Hall of Famer. Yeah, that 84. I think that 84 team should have won it.
Who did they lose to?
Japan.
Japan. Okay. Well, Japan's their kryptonite, it looks like.
Yeah, really. But that 84 team, even though it was an Olympic team, and they used a Rawlings 84 Olympic baseball, it wasn't an official medal sport.
Okay.
Baseball didn't become an official medal sport until 1992 in Barcelona. And I think the 92 team, I think Giambi was on that team. Jason Giambi from the A's.
Yep.
He was on that team.
Cool. All right.
And Ron Vallone, who pitched for like every team in the majors, it seems like, he was on that team.
He was the Edwin Jackson of baseball.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
He never played for the Red Sox, Edwin Jackson. I always wanted him to play.
Yeah, he played for everybody. It seems like he played for everybody else.
I feel like he played. He didn't play for the Yankees, I don't believe.
No, he didn't play for the Mets either. He played for us.
I know that he played for the Diamondbacks for a while. I remember him vividly on the Diamondbacks.
He pitched no hitter for the Diamondbacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Pitched for the Rays, I'm pretty sure, too.
Or it might have been them, but he pitched a no hitter for somebody, and he threw like 140 pitches.
That's like
the manager kept trying to go get him, and it was like, no. Yeah, it was Johan Santana did that.
Yeah,
for the Mets, pitched a no hitter against us in 2012
as a Met.
And they showed replays of, there was a ball that Carlos Beltran hit.
Yep.
And the umpire called it foul. But then they showed replays of it later.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they didn't have replay then, so it was like tough toenails, bud. Yeah.
It is.
But anyway, that so what was the last guy? Who's the last guy to pitch a no-hitter for you guys?
It had to have been John Lester.
Did he pitch it in Fenway?
Yes.
That's right, because it was the first one in like 30 some odd years.
It was him or Clay Buchholz. Clay Buchholz pitched one about 15 years ago.
In Fenway.
In Fenway.
Yeah, because I remember there was a guy
against the Baltimore Orioles, who they're playing this weekend.
Yeah, there was a guy named Bob Moorhead pitched a no-hitter in Fenway in 65, and for a long time, no Red Sox pitcher pitched a no-hitter in Fenway. And then
there's been some close ones. Schelling got close a couple times. I feel like Lester got close just before he left. I feel like he had one really good performance.
Yeah, Lester got his 200th win for us.
Yeah.
He had a pretty nice career.
I wish he was a Red Sox for life. I was disappointed when they traded him to Oakland.
Oh, is that where he went?
Yeah.
And then where did he go after Oakland? Did he go to
Chicago?
Oh, the Cubs.
He signed a big deal with the Cubs.
Right. Then he went to the Nationals.
Then went to Nationals. Then went to you.
And then he ended with us.
Yep.
But now we had some. It's been a while since we've had one. I think Bud Smith was the last guy to pitch a no-hitter for us. Did it against the Padres in 2001.
2001. That's the last no-hitter
for us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Miles Michaelis came close last year. He came within like a third of an inning.
Oh.
And Michael Wacha, who neither one of us have anymore, he went to the Padres.
That's right. He doesn't play. He had a really good year for the Red Sox last year. I wish they held him.
He did.
I thought he did a really nice job.
I don't know why you guys didn't hang on to him, and I don't know why we didn't get him. I would have loved to have gotten him back.
Yeah, he's a guy that he's an innings eater. I feel like if you need a day to where you need your bullpen to have some rest, throw that guy and he'll get it done.
Yeah, that's what we really need for our staff this year. He
might let up 4 or 5 runs, but he's going to pitch 6 innings.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the ERA is going to be a little fat, but
yeah.
I mean, that's what I would like to have for us this year. I would really like to have a guy that would be a definite innings eater.
Well, I think it helps when you get on later on in the season. When your starters are stretched out.
Yeah, if you're getting ready for the playoffs, get your starters stretched out, give your bullpen some rest. God, how many pitchers did we use yesterday? Shoot.
And the September call-ups aren't what they used to be, right? Where you could just bring up all 40 guys, right? You can only allowed to bring up 30-something now.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
It's hard. It's kind of silly. It's a 40. They call it a 40-man roster for a reason.
I know. I agree.
Why don't they just bring up everybody?
I agree. Let's get to our second topic of the day. Here comes the judge
again. Yeah.
Hit a home run on opening day, his first at bat in a Yankees uniform in 2023. Signs that big deal. I mean, Parker, can this guy do it again?
62?
I think he can hit 50.
Oh, yeah, at least.
I just think he's going to get walked a ton.
Yeah, because nobody's going to want to pitch to him.
No one wants to face him.
But there's one thing about the Yankees opening series that people are overlooking. The Giants are playing about 1.5 miles from the place they used to call home.
That's right, the Polo Grounds.
Yep, Polo. I mean, I've seen photographs. At some days in the Polo Grounds, when you're sitting in the stands, you could actually see Yankee Stadium.
Oh, like on a hot, nice day, no clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it.
Yeah, they're only, like I said, they're only like you could walk between the two places. I mean, there are apartments.
Fascinating to be alive when there was 3 teams in New York. Yeah,
really. I mean, there's probably not very many left.
There has to be, because let's see. The Dodgers moved in the 50-something.
57, or after the 57 season.
And then the Giants moved shortly after that.
Same after the 57 season, but yeah, the Dodgers wanted San Francisco to go with them.
Yes.
Because they wanted to continue the rivalry on the West Coast.
And that is when they they made more games for that reason.
They made the 162 game schedule in 1961. The American League was the first. The National League was still playing 154 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the American League went to 10 teams in 61. They added the Angels, and then they added the new version of the Washington Senators because the old Senators had moved to Minnesota and become the Twins.
Yes.
And then the National League, of course, added the Houston Colt 45s, later to be called the Astros, and the New York Metropolitan Baseball Club Incorporated.
Okay.
But I don't. Now, did you ever hear anything about the old Continental League?
I have not. No.
Well, all right. Let me explain the Continental League to you. Excuse me.
Okay.
The Continental League. Well, the Continental League was supposed to be the third major league.
Okay.
It was to begin play in 61 or 62. And they were going to have, I think the 8 teams they were going to have were New York, Houston, Denver, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Dallas, Fort Worth. Oh, yeah. New York, Houston, Toronto, Denver, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Buffalo.
And this was supposed to be a league, or
yes.
They had actually formed to be?
I think they'd actually formed to be a league, and Branch Rickey was going to be president.
And this was another major league. They were trying to make this Major League Baseball.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but then there were supposed to be 8 teams, and 7 of those teams today are part of Major League Baseball.
Wow.
The only one that isn't is Buffalo.
Okay.
Although Buffalo came close in '93.
That's where the Blue Jays AAA affiliate plays.
That's right.
Yep.
And Buffalo is their AAA farm team now.
They played there during the COVID year.
Yeah, 2020. I think they played a few games there last year too.
They played there last year. 2021 they played there. I don't think they played in 2022.
Oh, okay, but I know, and I think
they played in Florida.
Yes, Dunedin. That's where they train.
Yep.
I think they've been training in Dunedin since they've been. That's
yep.
Yeah, the Red Sox are in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers. A side note in terms of spring training things, I found it interesting. The Rays, they play all of their games at Tropicana Field in preseason.
They do?
They played a bunch of games at the Trop this year. I don't know if they play there if it's going to rain or whatever. I don't even know. I don't know where their spring training complex is.
St. Petersburg, I think.
So right near where their stadium is then, because that's where they are.
The Yankees are in Tampa.
Yankees are in Tampa. Yeah. I've been to their spring training facility.
Oh, the Yankees? Really?
I turned my shirt inside out because I was wearing a Red Sox.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this. The Tampa Yankees Class A affiliate has a female manager.
I was aware of that.
Okay. I wonder if you're going to see that more.
You could. You sure could. There's a couple. There's another manager that's there too. I think she's with the Diamondbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing something as well.
I think one of the teams actually has I think one of the major league franchises has a major league female coach now too.
I think it might be the Giants.
Yes, that is who it is. But I don't know if she's a uniform coach. Oh, I don't know if she's a uniform coach or not. But she doesn't come out onto the field. I know that. She might wear a uniform, but I think she's like a strength and conditioning coach or something.
Okay.
But she is on the major league coaching staff.
Okay. All right.
Because I know the 49ers had a female running backs coach.
Yep, that's right.
She coached in the Super Bowl against us.
Against the Chiefs. That's right.
Yep. She sure did.
Chiefs Super Bowl champs once again this year, defeating.
Yeah, we're losing our receivers. We lost. I think we're going to lose. I think we're supposed. Nicole Hardman's gone.
Yeah. Juju Smith-Schuster's with the Patriots.
Shut up! I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
It's all right. We're not going to do anything with them anyways. Don't worry about it, Parker. We're in our ear. The Patriots.
Anyway, I was going to say about women's baseball.
Sure.
They do have a women's World Cup.
I was aware of that. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Isn't that really cool?
And we've won it quite a few times.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since now we're on the topic of women's baseball. The League of Their Own baseball movie. Mm-hmm. I know that the movie isn't 100% factually true, but I was curious if you might want to be able to get into a little bit of the reason why you know that they created that league. I know it was during World War II. Mm-hmm. So I know some people were looking to, because there was, a lot of first off, did the Major League Baseball season happen throughout World War II?
Yes.
Yeah. They still continue to play.
Yes, they did. Because Franklin D. Roosevelt, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, the commissioner, basically said to FDR, baseball is yours to command.
So what teams were really affected by, because these players, I mean, they had to go to war if they were drafted, right?
Yeah. World War II was funny. In 1944, World War II was still going, and the St. Louis Browns won their only pennant.
Wow.
As the St. Louis Browns.
I like that.
Yeah, they won a few pennants once they got to Baltimore, but
cool.
Yeah, because for the most part, the Browns were terrible. They at one point they had a game. They averaged like 1,500 fans a game.
Didn't Buck O'Neil play for the Browns?
No, Buck O'Neil never played in the majors.
He never played in the majors.
He coached in the majors.
He coached the Browns.
No, he coached the Cubs.
Coached the Cubs. Okay.
As a matter of fact, he was a scout for the Cubs, and he was responsible for the Cubs signing a guy named Lou Brock.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he actually brought Lou Brock to the Cubs' attention.
I've been doing some baseball history reading in regards to the Negro Leagues and how some of the players came to be, like the Hank Robinsons of the world and the Jackie Robinsons and the Satchel Pages and some of the other ones.
Satchel Paige made his final major league appearance against you guys.
His age, there's a discrepancy, I've heard. They have reason to believe that his age was not what he said his age was.
It's been going around for years.
There's a possibility that he pitched his last pitch almost 70 years old.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't. He never really. He was very tight-lipped about his age. He never. But there's been the range for what his actual age was pretty wide. But the listed birth year for him was 1906.
Yes.
But I think it might have been a few years older. Who knows?
Late 1800s.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. But you never know. But yeah, there was the Negro Leagues. That was quite the pipeline to the majors. Yep. I mean, of course, you had Jackie Robinson. Hank Aaron was in the Negro Leagues. Yep. Ernie Banks. I mean, you guys. This is. I don't know if you're aware of this. I know you guys were the very last team.
Yes, one of the last teams to integrate. Yes,
the last team. Mm-hmm. You were almost the first.
I was aware of that.
Jackie Robinson would have been that guy.
Right. That's right. I know the Red Sox. The story that I have heard, I don't know if it's accurate or not. The stories I've heard is that they found out that the Brooklyn Dodgers reached out to him and tried to intercept.
Yeah,
because I was confused about that because, to my understanding, they were not in the same league. The Dodgers were in the National League.
That's right.
But the Red Sox were in the American League.
Yes.
I also think they did this so the team across town, the Boston Braves, would not be able to get to Jackie Robinson. I might be wrong, but that's the story I've heard.
Well, about 5 years later, the Boston Braves got to some guy named Hank Aaron.
That's right, and
He was actually signed. Hank Aaron was actually signed to a Boston Braves contract.
Yes, I'm aware of that. And then they moved to Milwaukee.
Right. Yeah. So he never suited up.
Yeah.
There is one guy that suited up for Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. And he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
How long ago did he play?
50s, 60s, 70s, or 50s and 60s. And I'll give you another hint. In the mid 70s, he was Hank Aaron's manager. He managed his old teammate.
And he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Is he alive?
No. He's also a member of the 500 Homer Club.
I'm not sure.
His name is Eddie Matthews.
Eddie Matthews, the left hand. Lefty.
Yep. He is the only guy to have suited up for Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta.
Boston,
and now we're going to have the A's go into their fourth city.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that they're going to be going to Vegas in short order. Mm-hmm. I've always thought, and tell me if this is just a crazy idea. I've always thought that they could stay in Oakland.
I was kind of wondering. I mean,
I would love for them to stay in Oakland, and I think the way they could stay in Oakland is because, remember, they wanted to touch the stadium and change it when the Raiders played there. Well, the Raiders don't play there anymore.
Right.
But the city doesn't. But the stadium doesn't belong to them. It belongs to the city of Oakland.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, they don't own it.
Who does Fenway belong to?
I believe the Red Sox.
So the Red Sox own Fenway?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, because we own Busch.
Yeah, because because all like the concert tickets and the football games and the soccer games, it all is linked to the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I think one of the college football games this year was the Fenway Bowl.
I went to the Fenway Bowl this year.
Oh, actually. You did?
I did. I was there.
Who played it? Who played in it?
Yeah, the University of Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
And Louisville.
Andy Koufax's alma mater.
Yep, Louisville was played, and that was cool. Two schools I don't really care about, but I wanted to go to the game.
But that's kind of interesting. Those two schools are like an hour and a half apart.
I would say that they actually are rivals, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, the cities are really close.
They actually were rivals when they played in the same conference together. Now they don't. Louisville is now in the ACC.
Because I know they have the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yep, at Yankee Stadium.
And I think Notre Dame actually played in that once.
They now play the Holiday Bowl at Padres Stadium.
Yep.
The old Bowl used to be where the Chargers played, but now the Chargers aren't there anymore. They had to knock down the stadium. They now play at Petco. I've seen Petco Park.
Really?
Yep. I went to San Diego in March of 2019.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I watched Cardinal games from Petco Park, and if you look out in the bleachers, it's mostly white.
Yeah.
Well, because of all the sailors.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool though that the Padres play in those camouflage uniforms from time to time.
Yeah, those aren't cool. Those are cool. I agree.
What I think they should do every so often is whenever anybody plays in San Diego, both teams play in camouflage uniform. Camouflage.
That
would be nice.
I would love to see something similar to what they did. Do you remember when? First two questions. One of them. Are they not doing the Field of Dreams game this year?
I don't know. I haven't heard thing one about that. I don't know what's going on with that.
Because I don't see it anywhere. I hope they didn't stop that. After 2 years, that's it? They're already going to stop it?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that myself. And
they chose a terrible matchup last year. I do not know what Major League Baseball was thinking.
No.
Those were one of the two worst teams in baseball last year that played in that game.
The first one was good. The Yankees White Sox.
The first one was Yankees White Sox. That was
That was actually a really good game.
Yep, Tim Anderson had that walk-off homer.
Yep, that's right. That's right. But
Well, the Yankees came all the way back. And then my second question was in regards to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing in London this year.
Yes.
Against the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have like a bunch of days off in between, or they got to rush and head right back?
I think they got 2 before and 1 after.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
They got 2 days off before the London series, and then a day off after.
That day off doesn't, unfortunately, will just be a travel day for them.
Yeah, I know, but
it might take about a week for them to get back acclimated.
Jet lagged.
Yeah, so the Red Sox played in Japan to open up the season after they won the World Series in 2007.
I remember that. Yeah.
But that was at the beginning.
Sorry, they don't do that series anymore.
That was at the beginning of the season. I think that should happen at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Oh no. Maybe the London series should happen at the beginning of the year.
But the weather in London is questionable in late March.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that. I think they do it in the summer for a reason.
I seem to remember one year they did an Aussie series.
Yes, they played the Diamondbacks in the Dodgers.
The Giants and the White Sox that did it.
Okay. Well, in Australia they played the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay.
Played at a cricket stadium.
Yep. But now Australia has a bunch of actual baseball stadiums.
Yeah, that's right. They have a league.
Yep, and the former Milwaukee Brewer owns it.
Yeah.
Dave Nilsson, who was an all-star catcher. Now he was like the first really, really, really good Aussie major leaguer.
I like that.
I mean, there have been others before him.
Of course.
And I think we had one. His name was Shipley, Craig Shipley.
Okay, I know that name.
Yeah, he was ours for a bit, but Dave Nilsson is easily the best all-time Aussie major leaguer.
So Parker, I'm just going to go through a couple things here, and just in terms of some early season reactions, and then we're going to go through each one.
Mm-hmm.
So starting with the Astros, they're 1-1 so far this year. They lost on opening day, but then came back yesterday and beat the White Sox. The injury to Jose Altuve, they don't know how long he's going to be out for.
He injured that's right. He injured the thumb in the WBC.
I think that's going to majorly impact them in terms of when. Seattle. I feel like Seattle last year was a miracle story, but I feel like this year they're going to be better than they were last year.
Real, yeah, I think they're for real. But Jose Altuve was literally their spark plug.
Yeah, he's their guy at the top of the order, and then of course you have the Mets. Their injury struggles continue, man. They had Justin Verlander left the game early on opening day because they no longer have Jacob DeGrom. DeGrom now with the Rangers.
Well, 40% of the Mets rotation is now on the shelf.
Yeah, that's right.
Quintana's out.
Yeah,
we had him last year. He did really well for us, but now he's gone.
Yeah, the Mets, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I feel like they've had all of a sudden, they had a really good offseason. And now all of a sudden it just feels like it's blowing up.
Yeah, they're going to, yeah, I know. I mean, karma.
It could be. And then, of course, you had Max Fried, who left his start early on opening day. He was running the first and kind of held up.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this. Max Fried, I'm trying to remember the name of the kid for Chicago. Louis Giolito, I think his name is, for Chicago White Sox. And Jack all went to the same high school.
I actually was aware of that.
At the same time.
That must have been a tough school to beat then, I guess.
Harvard Westlake. They were actually. I think they were state champs one year. But the name of the school.
Giolito had a couple of good years there with the White Sox. I don't really know how he is now. I remember when he first came on, he was, they couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
But eventually he got figured out.
He pitched against us once and we couldn't hit him.
Yeah. The Red Sox, they had some success against him.
Matter of fact, I think Jack was pitching against him that day.
Wow.
But anyway, Harvard Westlake School. I think it's I'm trying to remember. It's in the Los Angeles area. I know that. And two alum that I know very well. One of them, these ladies went to the Westlake side of it. It was Westlake School for girls and then Harvard School for boys, and they merged.
Okay.
One of the alums was her name used to be Susie Hornibrook, and she was the daughter-in-law of Gussie Busch,
Okay.
the old man that owned the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And a classmate of hers was my mother.
Wow. That's a cool story.
Yeah, so I always like to talk to my mom about her going to the same school as Jack.
Yeah, that's cool.
But she went, like I said, she went to the girls' side of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Max Fried is gone. What?
Yeah,
God,
he's another guy.
Man, fingers crossed for Jack here. Holy
know,
cow! All these guys going down on opening day. What?
Yeah, I know. And then you have, in my opinion, the surprise so far this season. You looked at the Padres in the offseason. You figured they'd get off to a really good start. Right now,
No, they
a
lost.
lot of Rockies have gone into San Diego and taken the first 2 games.
Wait, is it 2 of them?
They're 2-0, the Rockies, to get things started in 2023. Yeah.
Now, is Chris Bryant playing for them, or
He is. He's still with them.
Is he healthy? That's the question. The $1 million question.
I would hope so.
Yeah, you would think. But yeah, he was. I remember him with the Cubs. He was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips.
Well, he had a first really good year there, and then after they won, I feel like the Cubs, after they won the World Series, it was just a straight downhill. I mean, they made the playoffs a couple times, but
they beat the Brewers the other day.
Yeah.
I think they had the day off yesterday. A lot of teams had the day off yesterday.
Red Sox had the day off yesterday.
Yeah, so did we. Yeah, we're going at what time are we going at? 2:15.
2:15 today.
That's
the White Sox and the Astros are going today as well at 2:00, and then the Brewers and the Cubs as well.
So, I think the Cubs had the day off yesterday too.
Well, technically 1:00 your time, right?
Mm-hmm. No, because the Cards are going at 2:15 our time.
Oh.
I'm wondering though if it's still windy as hell outside in St. Louis.
Oh no. It's well. Let's see.
What?
I have everything on Eastern time.
Oh, okay.
You guys are going today at 1:15.
My time. But for a while, it's been kind of windy outside. I wonder if it's windy. I wonder what's going to happen to the ball when they pitch.
Oh yeah. That's. I think it more affects the hitters than the pitchers personally.
Oh really?
I think it helps. I think it helps the pitchers. That you let up less home runs.
Hmm.
The ball's
so the wind's going to get a hold of one.
The wind's going to get a hold of one, and maybe. Well, I don't know. So here's the thing: 2 things can happen. The wind can get it and make it go farther, or the wind can catch it and put it down
into an outfielder's glove.
Into the outfielder's glove, or in the gap, or whatever. You never know.
Hmm. So we might not see the long ball so much. We didn't really see the only 2 long balls I saw in our first game were hit by our guys. And Donovan.
When you see a home run hit in April, you know it was hit really hard. That Fenway.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about Fenway? How much longer do you think Fenway's going to be around?
For the foreseeable future, I mean, they keep making improvements every single year to the place. I don't see any. I think that.
So you don't see him building a new Fenway somewhere else?
I think you might see in like 10 years them do what the Yankees did back in the 70s, a full renovation of the stadium.
Oh, and play somewhere else for 2 years?
And potentially play at Foxborough's Gillette Stadium for a year or so.
Could they do that? Could they configure that place for baseball?
Robert Kraft has offered to reconfigure Gillette to accompany the Red Sox.
Really?
Yes.
That would be I'd love to see what the dimensions are.
The Fenway Park's what, 111
years old.
Yeah, 111 years old. Like eventually that, like the beginning stages of the ballpark is just going to fall apart.
Mm. Well, that's what Yankee Stadium pretty much did.
So eventually you just have to kind of replace the whole thing. I mean, they've replaced the seats over the years and they've added new sections, but eventually you're just going to have to rep it up and start over again.
So they've actually kind of replaced it piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when we played in Sportsman's Park, we didn't just replace it piece by piece. We
Yep.
just once it was done, and then we moved into Bush. We moved into Bush too. Well, technically, Sportsman's Park was renamed in 1953 when Anheuser-Busch bought the Cards. So it was Busch Stadium 1. Then we built Busch Memorial Stadium, which was Busch 2. The one we're in now is technically Busch 3.
Huh.
But we didn't.
That's an entirely new stadium.
Do what?
The stadium that you're playing in now.
Yes, that's a totally new stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a renovation or anything like that. We built that from the ground up.
Because before you had a bowl that was all the way around.
Yeah. And the stadium we're in now is on part of the old footprint. And now we've got Ballpark Village and Cardinal Nation and all that.
Right.
I mean, baseball in St. Louis is a happening. I mean, I'm sure
it's so here's the thing. I think it separates St. Louis from a town like Boston, right? In St. Louis, all you got is baseball. You don't have a football team anymore.
Well,
even when you had a football team.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. They had, 2 or 3 good years, and then after that, they became bad.
Yeah. They started out bad.
But a lot of the people that were there before were Chiefs fans.
Mm-hmm. Now we got
hockey. The city. We're talking about St. Louis.
We do have hockey.
You have the Blues, who are a big part of the city as well. I would love to see St. Louis get a basketball team.
They've had 2. They had the Hawks, who are now the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
And they had an ABA team called the Spirits of St. Louis.
Okay.
With Marvin Bad News Barnes from Providence College.
Oh, yeah. Providence College.
Yep. Now, he was before Rick Pitino. But
yeah.
There was a funny story about him. He was on the Spirits, and they were in Louisville, and they were flying back to St. Louis. They were on the road. They were flying back to St. Louis. I think they said, leave Louisville 7:50 a.m., arrive in St. Louis 6:50 a.m.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And Marvin Barnes wouldn't get on the plane.
Yeah.
Because he was afraid he was going to go back in time or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Louisville and St. Louis, even though they're like 3 hours apart, they're in 2 different time zones.
That's true. How far is, before we get to our last topic, how far away, I mean, from Boston to Worcester, it's like an hour, maybe an hour, 10 minutes.
45 minutes, I think.
How far away is it from St. Louis to Memphis?
3 hours.
That's it. That's how close you are to Tennessee?
That's it.
That's it.
I've done it in 3 hours.
Wow.
I was going about 70, but I still did it in 3 hours. But you guys had do you guys still have your AAA team in Pawtucket?
No, it's in Worcester now. That's why I mentioned Worcester.
Right. Yeah, because you had the Paw Sox for years.
Yeah, we had the Paw Sox, and McCoy Stadium kind of fell apart. So now
that's where the longest game in professional history took place.
27 innings?
32 or 33.
32. Wow.
33 innings. And 2 Hall of Famers were in it.
Okay.
Cal Ripken Jr. played for Rochester. They were an Orioles farm team at the time.
Yep.
And Wade Boggs played for you guys.
Is that the Rochester Red Wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were an Orioles team
now, right? They're the Twins now, right?
Yeah, they were a Nationals farm team for a bit, and then I think they're the Twins now. But I think the lineup card from that game is in the Hall of Fame.
I like that. Let's get to our last topic of the evening. I think the evening, I was going to say the day, not evening, because we're not at night.
Right.
Trout and Ohtani. Is this going to be the last year that we see these two as teammates? I think it might be.
Yes.
I think Ohtani's had enough.
Yeah, Ohtani's going elsewhere.
Yeah.
Going to St. Louis now.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I'll tell you what, he and Nootbaar became awfully chummy during that WBC.
Him and Yoshida potentially could be a good match in Boston. I don't know how
You think
much the
you
Red
think
Sox
you,
are willing to pay him.
you think you guys are going to go to? You think you guys are going to get Ohtani?
There's a possibility.
Uh-oh.
The Red Sox organization has to do something to
Hmm.
change the trajectory of what's going on here.
You guys
They
think
they got the bucket list item checked off this offseason and signed Rafael Devers to the long-term deal.
yes.
He's going to be a Red Sox for probably the rest of his career, which I'm
Well,
very
he played in the WBC, did he not?
He did. He played for the Dominican Republic.
That's right. Yeah, they got bounced out. They got bounced out in pool play.
Yeah, he wasn't there for very long. He quickly came back to the Red Sox, which is nice.
But the Dominican Republic was in that Group C, Group of Death pool, or Group D.
A lot of ones. There, I was a bit surprised that Australia didn't get farther in the WBC.
They got to the quarters.
I feel like they had a fairly good roster.
They did. I'm surprised the Netherlands didn't get farther.
Yeah, they have like the collection of guys that might not necessarily be dual citizenship deal. Well,
they're citizens of those Caribbean islands, and all those Caribbean islands that used to be the Netherlands Antilles have baseball, but they are now an integral part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Yes.
So you have some of the Netherlands that's not located on the European continent.
Yes.
It's a complicated arrangement, but somehow they make it work.
Of course. Do you believe then when it's all said and done, Mike Trout's legacy is going to get tarnished because he never really won any major games in his career?
Kind of. I mean, I shouldn't say that, because did Ernie Banks' legacy get tarnished? No. I mean, Ernie Banks has a good legacy.
Yes.
Even though he never went to a World Series. He played for the same team his whole career and did hit 500 plus home runs.
Well, I'm not talking even getting to a World Series. There's a lot of Hall of Famers that never got to a World Series, but Mike Trout, I think, has only been in the postseason 2 times.
Once.
That's 2012. Hasn't been back since.
2014.
So they made it in 2012 and 2014.
No, they didn't make it in 2012.
Was 2014 the year that they won like 90-something games and they got swept by the Royals? Okay, they only made it once. Okay, wow.
Yeah, Albert Pujols, same thing.
Yeah.
Until last year, since Albert left the Cardinals the first time, he'd only been to the postseason once.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny, though. That was funny because Albert Pujols left the Cardinals. Everybody was up in arms, but it was better for our bottom line. And Albert, it was really
you guys got back the next year.
Mm-hmm.
In 2013.
Yeah, it was strange because Albert went from, in the space of 1 year, Albert went from being the best in baseball to not even being the best on his own team.
Yeah.
Because that's 2012 is the year Trout came into his own.
Amen.
So, but do I think Mike Trout is going to hit 500 plus home runs? Yes.
Where is he at right now in terms of that?
Oh, yeah. Where is he at right now? Let me see. Let me get to the old baseball reference here. See what I can find out. Yada, yada, yada. All right. Mike Trout is not related to Steve Trout.
Nope.
Okay, here we go. Wait a minute. Oh, he's at 350.
So he's got 150 homers left.
Exactly 150.
How old is he? He's going to be in his early 30s now.
He is. Where's his bio at? I think he. Oh, here we go. Born August 7th, 1991, in Vineland, New Jersey. So he is 31, going to be 32.
So if he can hit 20 plus homers for about 3 or 4 more years, he should maybe get there.
If he could hit
30 plus. Yeah. I don't know, Parker. I don't know how much. He's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah,
he's not a 31. He's 31, but I don't think he's in a 31-year-old man's body.
You think he's in an older body?
Yeah, 34, 35.
Ooh. Well, we'll see.
I don't know. I think you can see Mike Trout play for 5 more years.
Do what?
I think he's going to play for 5 more years, and they're all going to be with the Angels.
Now, how much longer is he signed for? That's the thing. How much? I'm trying to think. Oh, here you go. He's signed through 2030. He's got he signed for 12 years, 426 mil, and he signed for 2030. That's 7 more years.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit surprised that the Angels never thought about moving him. Moving him.
Oh, moving him. Oh, you mean trading
like a major payback. Because right now you look at the Angels, outside of him, Ohtani, and Rodon, they don't have anybody.
Nope. But he puts butts in the seats.
That's the thing. He puts butts in the seats. If he left, no one's going to show up.
Oh, Ohtani too. They both put butts in the seats. Once one or both of them are gone, that's
the issue.
I mean, we may not get very far in the postseason all the time, but that's one thing we do. We put butts in the seats.
You're competitive.
That's right.
That's all you got to be.
You got to you can make more money finishing third and being competitive than you can finishing first.
Yeah.
Because you're making it interesting.
Yeah. That's the Red Sox for like 3 or 4 years there were in the playoffs and really getting things going. And then after the 2018 World Series, they didn't make the playoffs. Then they had the COVID year where they had probably the worst record in franchise history. Mm-hmm. And then you had 2021, which was
you had some 1920s teams that were pretty bad.
Yeah. The worst Red Sox team in my lifetime. Was the 2011 team.
How bad were they?
I think it was 2011.
Hold on a second.
No, 2012 was the Bobby Valentine.
Bobby Valentine was your manager?
Yeah, that was because that 1912 Fenway Park opened, 2012, 100 years.
Wow, Bobby Valentine.
That was by far the worst year in Red Sox history.
He was New England. He was a New England guy.
Yeah, he's an athletic director now at Sacred Heart University.
Which in Connecticut?
In Connecticut, yeah.
In Bridgeport, Connecticut, I think it is.
Yeah, I think by far that is the.
He's from Stamford.
Yeah.
Which is like.
No lifetime.
Which is like right on the New York line. So he was in
the 2014 Red Sox were pretty bad.
Yeah, we've
won the World Series.
God, the worst Cardinal team in my lifetime. I'm thinking. I know who it was. It was the 1992 Cardinals. We were 72-90.
Wow.
And that's the last time we ever lost 90-plus games. And the last Cardinal team to lose 100 or more was 1908.
Wow.
It's been that long.
That's a long ways away.
We've had the Branch Rickey way since 1917, and it has worked.
That's good.
It is good. I mean, we've employed the same. We had a guy. He was a major league coach for a bit. His name was George Kissel.
Okay.
And he was like the instructional guru of the Cardinals organization. And the announcers talk about him all the time. Former players talk about him all the time. There were a lot of guys that came through his system. And where'd you go, Robert? Oops. Where'd you go?
That was very odd. I apologize, everyone.
That's all right. But anyway, George Kissel
left the studio. Yeah.
George Kissel had a really good reputation as being a teacher and producing a lot of quality major leaguers.
Of course.
Now, what did Pesky do for you? Did Pesky kind of do the same thing for you guys, or was he?
I believe so. He was like a manager slash advisor slash whatever.
So he was your manager at one point.
I feel like he was at one point. I can look it up.
But he was more. But in the later years, he was more of a mascot.
He was a coach. I know that. I don't know if he was the manager per se.
But he was in uniform for a long time. Anyway, so. But do they still have the Pesky's pole and all that?
They do. They do. It's there at Fenway. He was a lifetime 307 hitter.
Oh wow! So he could.
He only hit 17 home runs though. Yeah, he did. He was the manager for the Red Sox, 1963 through 1964, and then managed them again in 1980.
Oh, okay.
And his number's retired. He's a Red Sox Hall of Famer.
Number 2.
Yep,
now, what exactly? I was going to ask you. What exactly is the Jimmy Fund?
So the Jimmy Fund is a fund that helps.
But it wasn't started by the Red Sox.
Children, diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
So it's a way of making money and putting it into cancer research to hopefully one day find a cure.
I think the Braves had started it.
Okay.
And then the Red Sox kind of took it over when the Braves left.
When George Steinbrenner was alive, he used to make a donation every year to the Jimmy Fund. I don't know if the Yankees will do that, but he himself would make a donation every year to the Jimmy Fund.
Well, that's nice.
Because that's why he was kicking our butts every year. He did support a good cause. So that's all.
Do you think the Yankees are as good as under his son's ownership as they were under his?
Aaron Boone would have been fired already, and Brian Cashman would have been fired already.
Oh, with the old man.
I don't really think that George Steinbrenner was. I don't think he would be okay with this last 10, 11 years of the Yankees franchise where they haven't even gotten to the World Series, but they've gotten close so many times.
Yeah, they last went to one and won it in 2009. You don't think the old man would be okay with this?
No, I think he would. I think he would have fired Aaron Boone by now. But Aaron Boone's not the problem there. It's, to be honest with you, it's Brian Cashman. He needs to go.
They've been saying that for I don't know how long.
I mean, I just because he's been there for 20-some years, it's hard to fire.
Our guy Mozeliak's been there since 2008.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of somebody like that.
Exactly. But the thing is, I look at these Cardinal groups on Facebook. I see the same friggin' thing every day. Mo must go. Mo must go. But Mo hasn't had a losing season his whole time as GM.
The Red Sox, I know, probably by the end of the year this year, will be looking, I believe, for a new GM and a new manager.
You think Chaim Bloom's gone?
He should be. He hasn't really done anything.
But the thing is, but with Mozeliak, though, before he got that job with the Cards, there were 15 other teams that wanted him. I think yours was one of them.
Listen, I don't want to make this an indictment on Chaim Bloom. I just feel like since he's been here, he's made the farm system better. There's no question about it. But in the process, it's made the major league team bet worse.
And you got to wonder, what are these guys going to be once they get to the majors?
And we did listen. In all fairness to Chaim Bloom, we should have been in the World Series in 2021. Okay, we were right there. We had the Astros. We were right there in Game 5, and we let it slip away. We were right there.
And you guys have been to multiple series more recently than the Yankees have been to the series.
Yes, that's very true too.
No, wait a minute. You went to the Yankees last went to the series, not just won it, but went to the World Series in 2009. You guys went in 13.
Won the World Series in 2013, won in 2018, and have been to the American League Championship Series 3 times.
Okay, so you in recent years, you guys have actually had more postseason success than the Yankees.
Yes, but they've made the postseason, I believe, every year. We haven't.
Oh,
yeah.
But, we'll see what happens this year. I still think the Yankees are going to win the AL East. I still think
they should.
Cards are still going to win the NL Central. That was a great game the other day. I mean, our offense showed up, but unfortunately our pitching didn't.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Our bullpen didn't show up.
The Red Sox did not either. Parker, thank you as always. I enjoyed our talk today.
Yeah, so did I. And when are we on again?
We will be back. So, some scheduling updates for you all here if you're listening live right now. I'm going to pull up my
I'm sure you guys are listening. You better be. Go ahead.
We are going to be back on the 15th.
So the week after Easter.
Correct. We will be taking the weekend of Easter off because we're doing the show every other week.
Yeah, man. You know, us Catholics, we gotta be good boys and go to all our Holy Week masses.
So scheduling, so usually we go every other week, but I'm going to be on vacation.
Okay.
The end of April to early May. So we'll be back on the 22nd of April.
Okay. And then after that, like May 6th.
Probably won't be back again until the 13th of May.
Okay. Well, great. So we will be back on.
Yeah.
We will be back on the 15th, the 22nd, and then after that, like the 13th.
Yes.
So we'll be doing. Hopefully, we'll keep this going the whole season.
Yes.
Right through the World Series.
Absolutely, right through the World Series and into the offseason. Thank you for everyone listening, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
All right. Take care, everybody.